Hello guys, today we are going to talk about radicals and imaginary number. First, we are going to focus our attention on the steps that is on the right hand side of the screen. So the steps that we are going to use as we solve or simplify radicals. First, we're going to identify if the given expression is a perfect square. If it is a perfect square, then take out the number. If it is not a perfect square, use prime factorization to find the pairs. Take one number from each pair out of the radical, leave unpaired numbers inside and multiply them. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you what this means. And number 3, if there is a number outside the radical, multiply it to the number you take out. Okay, so let's follow the steps as we try and solve the given problem. So we are asked to write the expression in the simplest radical form. What does this mean? That means we can't have an answer that is in a form of a fraction or decimal. So first thing is we're going to identify the number that's inside a radical. And by the way, if you keep hearing me saying radical, this symbol right here, okay, so this symbol is what we call radical. So we don't say square root. Okay, so radical. So we're going to simplify the number that's inside a radical. So let's identify those perfect square numbers. So you have your 2 times 2, which is equal to 4, 3 times 3, which is 9, 4 times 4, which is 16, 5 times 5, which is 25, and then you got 36, 49, and it continues. So hopefully you remember what perfect squares are. And so, of course, we can start with 1, but all numbers are divisible by 1. So that's the reason why I started with 2. Now, if you take a look at the list, 8 is not on this list. So therefore, we need to simplify 8. It's not a perfect square. So we are going to take the number 8 and we will split 8 into factors wherein one of the factors is a perfect square, meaning one of the numbers must be on this list. So we'll start with 4. So 8 is divisible by 4. And so if we divide 8 divided by 4, the answer is 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. So we can rewrite the given into, we drop 4. Instead of writing 8, we are going to write 4 times 2. And 4 times 2 is just 8. Now, we're going to rewrite the answer that we have and split. So, square root of 4 times square root of 2. So we're rewriting it. We're just splitting the numbers that are inside the radical. Now we're going to simplify. First, we drop the number that's on the outside, a whole number, and then square root of 4 is equal to, that's right here, we see square root of 4 over here, and that is equal to 2. So we're going to put a period to represent multiplication, whereas 2 is not on this list, and so therefore we're just going to drop square root of 2. So simplifying, so we're going to apply number 3 at this time. So if there is a number outside and we have a number outside and that is 4, and we are going to multiply that to the number that we take out, and that is 2. So our final answer is going to be 8, because 4 times 2 is 8, and we drop square root of 2. So the simplified answer or radical form of 4 times 4 square root of 8 is 8 square root of 2. Now, let's try this again. Let's try number 2. And so this time we have 75. Remember the perfect square numbers. So 75 is not divisible by 4. So we're crossing that out. 75 is not divisible by 9. Does not give us a whole number. 75 is not divisible by 16. However, 75 is divisible by 25. So 75 divided by 25, that will give us a 3. And 3 can't be simplified any further, so we can rewrite square root of 75 into 25 times 3. So we can split our radicands, or the number inside the radical symbol. So we have square root of 25 times square root of 3. And then 25 can be simplified into 5, a whole number. And then we're going to drop the 2, separate that 5 with a 2 with a multiplication. 3 is not on this list. As you can see, 3 is not on this list. Okay, so it's not on this list. Therefore, we'll simply drop square root of 3, multiplying our 2 whole numbers. So 2 times 5 is 10, and we drop square root of 3. There's the simplified form of 2 square root of 75. Let us try number 3. Right, so we've got 160. So 160 is divisible by 4, and so and that would give us a 40. And 40 can be broken down into 4 times 10. 4 times 10 is 40. So we can't split 10 with any other factors. I know you might say 5 times 2, but 5 is not a perfect square. 2 is not a perfect square, and there's no other factor. So therefore, we'll be using this set of factorization. So what do? We're going to take the perfect squares, multiply 4 times 4, and that would be 16. And the leftover, or the remainder, is 10. So 16 times 10. And 16 times 10, if we verify, that would be equal to 160. We're going to drop the 3, the whole number on the outside of the radical, split the radicands, or the numbers inside the radical symbol. So we'll have square root of 16 times square root of 10. We drop the whole number 3. And square root of 16 is equal to 4. And we drop 3, which is a whole number, and square root of 10. And so therefore, our final answer is 12 square root of 10. And this is how we simplify radicals in its simplified radical form. All right. Hopefully you find value in this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.